I don't imagine Biden doing a good job. Gavin Newsom, I don't know. Maybe I'm totally wrong.
I think Biden. I don't think
Whitmer.
Biden's my. If you ask me to pick my my second pick for who's going to be president, like most likely Trump. Who's second most likely? It's still not Biden.
Who is
Interesting.
Who wins?
Look, it's people have been saying, like Rogan says it a lot.
Most likely thing is that Biden dies, and
Rogan's been saying this a lot, where it's like, well, they can't run Biden, they can't run. Here's the reality: it was always going to be Trump versus Biden after 2020, but it's not going to not be Biden. It's going to be Biden. 100% it's going to be Biden. People just assume that he was going to be this one-term president. If you look at interviews really early on, he was saying, my intention is to run again, but I'm not going to. I'll tell you when the time comes. But he was saying the whole time his intention is to run 2 terms. His age is obviously a liability. Like, and voters seem to have hardened in that position.
Yeah.
And that's a really tricky thing to disentangle, like decouple yourself from. Like, so that's going to be the big challenge for him. And unfortunately, the only way to do that is to be aggressive and get him out there more. Get people, like, show the public, like, yes, he stammers, yes, he stutters, but if you put him in a long form interview, he can get into like deep detail about like complicated geopolitical stuff. And he might stammer, but he's not dumb and he's not demented. But
I think he definitely is not entirely with it.
What makes you say that, out of curiosity?
Seeing the way that he kind of hoovers around the stage, needs constant assistance and people walking up to guide him, makes gaffes, not understanding who he's discussing, where he's discussing about. He's just not with it. Like, if it were anyone else but Trump, I feel like they would replace this guy and go with someone who's way more capable and that they were comfortable putting in front of the country more. Because like, how many times have you seen him like about to answer a question and his like wife scurries over real quick and ushers him off?
I don't know if I've ever seen that, but
I haven't seen
I understand what you're saying. Optically, there's no question that he has never been a skilled orator, but 10 years ago, he was way better on a microphone than he is now. There's no question that he's lost
an old man. He's like 82.
How do you reconcile, out of curiosity, and we don't need to get into like whether you like the policies, but how do you reconcile the fact that legislatively his record is really fucking impressive? Like, the amount of bills that he was able to sign into law eclipsed Obama, certainly eclipsed Trump. Trump got the tax cuts. That was like his
Trump didn't get anything done. I would say I don't like
taxes for the businesses and the wealthy.
And that's it. What else did he do? Biden got Jerusalem fucking embassy.
Biden got chips. He got the PACT Act. He got the gun bill. He got the infrastructure bill. He got the Inflation Reduction Act. He got the, these, and a lot of these were bipartisan. So he was able to do what Trump said he was going to do. Trump said he was going to get in there and be like a deal maker. And he's just very abrasive and just not, like.
He was stymied a lot by his own party and whatnot. I still don't think
by himself. They offered him an infrastructure deal and he wouldn't take it.
Yeah.
He wanted.
They also like wouldn't give him like border wall.
He wanted
concessions. Like, $5 billion for the border wall is too crazy.
He wouldn't pass a nationwide infrastructure bill unless they stopped the impeachment investigation. He made it about himself, and that's Trump. That's why I don't like him.
Well, how do you reconcile that? Just like, so is he?
No, Taylor, I don't like the legislative moves he's making. And I don't like the changes in the country since he took over.
No, yeah, of course.
We saw the blame on him. Like, it's like the COVID shit really sent us down a spiral of printing infinite money and the normal people, the middle class of the country, ending up footing the bill for this. And meanwhile, we're funding foreign wars again, seemingly multiple, constantly. Like, I dislike what he's doing.
2.5.
No. Setting aside, because you're a libertarian type, you're like conservative. So obviously the policies you're not going to be a fan of. But that's not the question, though. The question is, how do you reconcile him being a demented old man with him having, by modern standards, a wildly successful legislative slate that he got passed?
I don't think that Biden himself is that impactful in his administration. I don't think he's waking up in the morning and beating the pavement, taking care of things. I think it's largely his cabinet and the fact that he has a majority of Democrats, so he can really kind of get this done.
Well, for example, there was a Political article, and McCarthy reportedly, he was like publicly saying, "Oh, Trump is this demented old guy," or whatever. In private, he was reportedly saying when he had meetings with Biden, he was surprisingly sharp, and he was very active, during this negotiations process. The immigration, the border wall bill, reportedly, he was very active in him personally.
Hearsay.
Yeah, I mean, it is all hearsay. Like, you're going to hear what
I've
that
seen.
person wants you to
I
hear.
can only judge his confidence based on what I see with my own eyes. I don't believe in. Look, if you listen to Trump propaganda, it's like Kim Jong-un type shit.
Yeah, he weighs
right?
230 and he's 6'5".
Oh my God. Okay. Like, calm down. We get it. You got an ego and you're a liar.
And you're fat. You can't run away from that. You're fat.
My tie is long.
Yeah.
My tie is long. I can't be fat.
Biden is not fat. I'll give him that over Trump.
Biden is a svelte guy. You know why, Taylor? Because you
got to fall off bikes sometimes. And what do you do when you fall off a bike? You get right back on it.
Sometimes if I don't read my speech as good, they don't bring me my soup.
I mean, just for me, like, my priorities as a voter, obviously I favor different policies than you, but like the question that I ask is like, if I, when I'm evaluating if I want to support a candidate, is like, how effective were they in pursuing their agenda? And when I look at his agenda, I'm like truly, he got a remarkable amount of, and even if you want to say like, okay, well, that's because of his cabinet. I mean, I disagree. I think he was reportedly very directly involved with a lot of these negotiations.
I don't see the guy.
It doesn't
that
matter
I see
to me
on
why
TV.
he's successful, only that he's successful, right?
That's kind of
different presidents have
at,
had different management styles. Like, I've heard Clinton, for example, forget the policies and the man, but just the style. Clinton was very hands-on. He was trying to negotiate peace between the Palestinians and the Israelis, and just block by block, he's in there saying, well, what do you think of street? And should this go here? And whatever. That's who Clinton was. He was in the dirt. He had his hands dirty. Reagan, on the other hand, he was much more of a, he managed the other managers who put their policies forward and didn't, day by day talk about which streets should do what or the details of stuff. He just put people in place to make it all happen. I don't know which one's better. They can both be successful.
Yeah. If there's a wildly competent politician who does a good job of like enforcing legislation that I don't like I don't want that guy in.
Well, sure.
Like the same way, like it's kind of like the discussion we're having is like we're fans of different sports teams almost to make it trite.
Hitler
and
was
be like,
great at
well,
what
why do you
he
not
did?
appreciate how good the Blackhawks are at this? And it's like, because I don't like what the Blackhawks when they win. I like when the Blues win.
I'm just challenging. I'm pushing back against the idea that he's not competent because it's like it's hard to reconcile.
Well, I mean, you might argue that Trump was standing there doing nothing because it's conservative. We're happy with the way things are. I saw him tearing down lots of EPA regulations. We like that shit. When I hear when he says drill, baby, drill,
he had a legislative agenda. Like,
and he achieved basically none of it.
He got the
was infrastructure week every week
for that wall.
Infrastructure week was a running joke.
Yeah,
when Trump was president.
Well, and the first thing he tried to do was repeal and replace Obamacare, and that was and ultimately failed. And so I don't know, like, do you guys feel like the Republican Party is better off now than they were before 2016? When I look at 2014, you got McConnell's got that iron grip in the Senate, and Paul Ryan's got that iron grip in the House. They had their shit together. Paul
Ryan would only take that job if every single Republican in the House voted for him unanimously, and they did. Right? Compare that to today.
The Republicans are fucking losers because they don't do anything that their constituents want. They're like, what do you want? A secure border? More money to Israel, my friends. Like, they're just losers. Like,
what do you think about Marjorie Taylor Greene?
They suck.
Marjorie Taylor Greene represents an area right above me. I live in Atlanta, and man, when I saw her at the State of the Union wearing that hat with the shirt and shit on, I was thinking to myself later, and I was telling somebody while Biden was speaking. I think we were doing the show. I was like, yeah, Marjorie Taylor Greene had the hat on. I'm sure she's not wearing it now. The president is speaking. And like that's, I've got at least that much respect. I'd lose my hat if the president's speaking. I don't care who it is. And well, maybe I care. If it's only Yizmi Blade, I've got some questions about what happened to this universe, how he became president, but it's not. It's Biden. And then I look and she's got it on. And then she yells. She yells again because she yelled last year. She was the one, her and Boebert. Yeah, from Colorado.
She is a powerhouse when it comes to fundraising. I don't know if you knew this, but Marjorie Taylor Greene is one of the best fundraisers in the Republican Party.
Can you pull that back up, please?
She looks so much like Ron Perlman. I can't get over it.
That's her servant there next to her, that black lady.
But you know who else was a incredible fundraiser for the party? McCarthy. And the Trump wing pushed him out. So like when I look at the Republican Party right now, I try to be as unbiased as I can in my evaluation. But if Bernie Sanders had won in 2016, and then the Democratic Party had a run that was similar to what the Republican trajectory is currently, I would be pissed. I would be like, this guy's fucked the party. Like,
well stated. Yeah. Trump
I
has
think there's
ruined
a lot of
it.
people
And
who
now
disagree.
his takeover of the
Hard disagree.
RNC is going to hurt them. They're losing donors. Like billionaire donors are like, I'm not here to fund Trump's lifestyle. I'm not donating to the party until this changes.
Hard
Well, they're not
disagree.
holding it to fund his lifestyle. They're like holding donations to get legislation they want.
So look, you're right.
no, they're going to spend that money on his legal bills. Like his legal liability in posting bond in New York.
That's like best case scenario.
sure they
If you
will.
think Trump will only use it to pay his legal expenses, then you're giving him a lot of credit.
Barron needs new pants. Come on.
Barron
probably does every
grows
3
out of his
days.
shoes all the time.
That motherfucker, bro. He's like Ben Simmons.
What if Trump like gave him some sort of super soldier serum? Because if you remember, I remember the night they won. I watched it recently, 2016 or whatever it was.
He was tiny.
He's a normal skinny fucking kid. He looks a lot, suspiciously, in fact, a lot like Steve Rogers in Captain America, the #1, right? When he's all skinny and he's in the alley getting his ass beat before Bucky comes and saves him. I submit that Donald Trump gave his son the super soldier
There's
serum.
a non-zero chance you're right.
Yeah.
And he created a superhuman, the first of his kind, and a program to mirror, in fact, Xi Jinping's program to create Super Chinaman.
Yep.
He used Jackie Chan's DNA and he mixed it with a Nephilim DNA sample that they collected
he's almost
in
as tall as
Mongolia.
Trump in this. I
Yeah.
assume this is 2016.
Either that or he's jumping.
Nephilim DNA mixed with that of a man.
It's possible that Trump wins in 2024. It's the Senate is going to be really hard for the Democrats to defend. So it's possible that Trump wins, Republicans likely take back the Senate, but Democrats take back the House. And then you have this split government. And then typically with the way that pendulums work, I mean, obviously like Republicans buck the trend in the 2022 midterms, but then 2026 midterms,
third term.
Yeah. Well,
he doesn't. There will be no third term. The second just doesn't stop.
I think it's a lot of people that are like, I think some of the hand wringing. I think some of the hand wringing about like the end of democracy is a little cringe.
That's really embarrassing.
Like, okay, it made sense. Like the threat was a lot bigger when he was like exiting in 2021 because he actually had power. If he serves out his second term, there will be a campaign and an election, and if he doesn't want to leave in 2028 or 2029, rather, he will be escorted out of the White House.
What if he argues
who want that job?
What if he makes the same argument that FDR made, that his hair is fucking sick and that he should keep being president for a while longer? You try to pass
the constitutional amendment, you could try to do that. It's really fucking hard to do that, but
it would be tough. I agree with you, Hutch, that hand wringing is frustrating to see because it's like, all right, now we're just in La La Land. Now we're just in pretend world, like fretting over stuff that not even the people being worried about it actually are.
I mean, I think he's bad for a lot of reasons, but I don't think it's at all possible that he's going to stay for a third term. Like and
he'll be like,
it's possible.
If he wins, won't he be like 83 by the time it's over?
How old was the Queen when she passed away last year?
Like 104, but she didn't.
Wait, was she
just hanging out? I think she's actually 99.
No,
right?
like 90, low 90s. I thought.
No, Betty White was 99. She was so close to 100, and then she didn't make it, which sucks. I'd rather die at like 87 than go to 99, not even make it.
She was 96. She died.
96. Still a good run.
Good.
I don't think I'd like, or maybe I would. I bet like 92-year-old me would be like, man, I'm glad I'm still alive. But when you see someone who's like 96 years old, it's like, my goodness, what quality of life do you have? Everything
there aren't
has
many
to hurt
spry.
constantly.
I saw a picture of Jackie Chan today. He looked like shit. That's why I used him as my CCP super soldier DNA. Jackie Chan.
I would have bet the house that he was going to age brilliantly.
82.
Why? He spent his whole life getting the shit beaten out of him.